Hi guys and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today's post is a show and tell of the men's and kids stuff that I've been sewing over the last few months. So first off is Burda 6719, which is a pair of jogger pants that I made for my husband. I used a sweatshirt fabric that I got as part of the Minerva Craft Blogger network, and it's a really beautifully soft, luscious fabric that has just got just the right amount of stretch for making jogger pants in. So I basically cut a size 38 based on his waist measurements, and I got the size from the pattern envelope. I didn't add a corded waist. The pattern actually requires you to put in a corded waist thingy, but my husband didn't want that, so we just used the elastic and I didn't do that. My husband basically is very happy with this. He wears it all the time when he isn't wearing his workwear. The only thing that he says is that the pockets aren't deep enough. So the next time that I make this for him, I'm just going to make the pockets a little bit deeper so that his phone doesn't fall out. Okay, up next is Burda 6602, a unisex t-shirt pattern. Now, we made this in the short-sleeved version, a size 40 based on the finished bust measurements that you find on the pattern sheet itself. And we used a cotton jersey fabric called Gentle Draft Moonrise, and it's an art gallery fabric, and this fabric is just awesome. My husband really loves it. He thinks that it's very comfortable and the fabric is nice and springy. I'm trying to show you the details of the extra big zigzag stitch that I used to do the hemming, which is like my new favorite way of hemming knits right now. So again, this was another Minerva Craft Blogger network. I made the t-shirt again using a fabric that I bought from Fabrics for All in Leeds, and it's a Star Trek print fabric. I managed to squeeze the short-sleeved version out of 0.75 meters, so that's 3/4 of a meter of fabric, which is actually quite good value, but it meant that I didn't have the luxury of pattern matching. I decided to use a contrast cuffing for the crew neckline, which I think is really quite nice because it picks up on the black accents. Now, something that you should know about Burda 6602 is that it's incredibly well drafted. So the bodice for the short-sleeved t-shirt is different to the bodice for the long-sleeved t-shirt, and you can't just interchange them. So I tried to make a long-sleeved t-shirt just using the long sleeve on the short-sleeved bodice that I had traced, and the arm's eye is drafted completely differently, so it didn't work. So if you're going to make this, just be aware that you have to trace the bodice for the long-sleeved t-shirt to use the long sleeve on it, and you have to use the short-sleeved bodice for the short sleeve on it, and you can't just interchange them, which I think is pretty fantastic because the requirement for a sleeve that's short and for a long sleeve is quite different. So that just shows you how incredibly well drafted it is. The fitting was just pretty much spot on. It's very fast to sew up, and there'll definitely be more t-shirts like this for him in the future. And sticking with the theme of t-shirts, up next is a very interesting t-shirt pattern from Merchant and Mills, and it's just simply called the T. And basically what caught my eye about this pattern is the fact that it's a t-shirt, but it's made out of a woven fabric, and the neckline is made out of a rib cuffing. So it's like a combination of woven and rib cuffing, and I just wanted to find out, well, how would this work? Is it comfortable? Is it something that you can pull over your head? And surprisingly, it does work for some reason. So you can actually create a really smart looking t-shirt like we've done here. And for the fabric, we used an art gallery blue stitch Ochi chambray fabric, and it's so incredibly beautiful, and it was lovely to work with. And for the neckline, we used a gray cuffing. I was very proud of the pocket matching the pattern matching that I did across the pocket, because you can hardly see that there is a pocket there unless you sort of like tilt it at a different angle. Okay, so this was another Minerva Craft Blogger network that just turned out incredibly well. My husband says he definitely likes some more of these, but he prefers to wear them with the shirt sleeve rolled up like this in a 50s style, and I think I agree that it probably looks better like that. My husband loves to play Pokemon. He's like a level 39 Pokemon trainer. So, of course, when I saw McCalls M7486, I knew that we had to make this for him. So, basically, we made it for him in some sweatshirt fabric, which had a rhino print that he absolutely fell in love with when he saw it on the Minerva Crafts website. It was the Minerva Craft Blogger Network make for February, I think. But anyway, details to do with the construction of this is that this is a super easy pattern to make. It took me 3 hours to sew it up, and that's including the extra time it took to put in the piping details. So it would probably take much less if I didn't put in any piping. The sizing was really good on this particular pattern. We selected the size based on the bust and waist measurements that were on the pattern envelope, and he is very happy with the fit of this particular top. The raglan sleeves are very flattering and they're very comfortable for him to wear, and he just says that he loves the piping detail. The orange fabric is actually left over from a dress that I made for my Burda challenge, and we liked the bright orange poppiness of it. So the pattern is supposed to have a hemband, but my husband declined the hemband, and it is also supposed to have these thumb inset sleeve cuffs, which he didn't want. So those were the only alterations made. We didn't include the hembands and the sleeve cuffs, and he's very happy with his Pokemon trainer sweater top. So this is the last of the menswear garments that I have made, and this is the hero piece as far as I'm concerned. It's McCalls M6044, and we call this one the Aloha Dragon shirt because it's made from a fabric that just is so reminiscent of Hawaiian shirts. It's from the Minerva Crafts website, and it's the most recent Minerva Craft Blogger Network make that I sewed up. And I love this fabric. I can't tell you how much I love this fabric so much, and how much we both love this shirt. And you can tell that because we're dancers. And there he is doing his best blue steel Zoolander look. This was actually the first time that we've made the McCalls M6044 in a short sleeved version, but obviously this is going to be a summery shirt, so my husband thought that it would be best to be a short sleeved. I love the buttons. They're wooden buttons, and I think that they just add a certain gravitas to this otherwise incredibly bright and bold floral piece. And I'm trying to do a close-up of the collar because I was very proud of how the collar turned out really nicely and neatly. Probably one of my best collars that I've made to date. So the fabric is a linen cotton mix, which is really quite nice because normally linen in its pure form, it does get quite wrinkly, but because of the addition of cotton in this, it isn't actually as wrinkly as linen, but it still has the feel and the look of linen. So this fabric has already been washed and it's incredibly bright. And I'm trying to show you the yoke there. So I put a yoke on this one and I had to cut it on the cross grain so that the dragon is actually facing down, looking at the other dragons, which I thought was like a nice little awesome addition that you probably only notice if you really look at it. So there he is following my modeling instructions, and I'm trying to tell him to go for smoldering intensity there. And this is the inside of the shirt, just to show you how neat my button bands are, and just to show you where I put my label on the button band. Yeah, love this top. Okay, so we finally move on to the kids wear. So first up is something that I made from Ottobre Design Kids Fashion, and it's this t-shirt number 17. And we made this in a jersey fabric that we bought from Metro Textiles when we were in New York sometime last year or the year before, I can't remember when, but my son chose this fabric and he wanted a t-shirt made out of it. He even cut it out himself. He didn't get to sew it up though because it was a little bit complicated, and I'll show you why just now. So the thing about this t-shirt is if you look at the front, right, it's got a normal sleeve, but at the back it's actually got a raglan sleeve, which just blew my mind when I realized the design of the pattern. So obviously it was a little bit more complicated and he wasn't able to actually sew it up himself, but we'll find a simpler t-shirt pattern that he can do himself. But he loves it. He's just been wearing it non-stop since we finished making it. Up next is some jumpers that I made as part of my hashtag Burda Challenge 2018, and it's from the 11/2017 magazine, and it's number 131. And these are just a pair of really simple to make jumpers that for my girls, and I used a scuba fabric that I bought from B&M Fabrics last year. That's the inside of the jumpers, as you can see. And here are some dropped crotch leggings that we won't be making again. Yes, you made it to the end. So the final two garments are these skater dresses that I made for my girls using fabric that I bought from Girl Charlie Fabric during the sale last year in December. The sizing was pretty spot on. This is the size 40. My girls are 4 years old and it's a perfect fit. Unfortunately, the pink and white fabric dress did not hold up well to being washed more than twice, so that's had to be eventually thrown out and I have to make another one for her. But the orange and black one is still going strong and is doing really well. Really like this pattern and I'll definitely be making more of these. So thank you so much for watching and for sticking to the end, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then please give it a big thumbs up, and until I see you next time, happy sewing. Bye.